If I was Nikki's neighbor, I saw them say bye to each other, she walked into her house, and I'm looking, and I see this nigga stay in the car, wait for her to go in her house, look at his front driving wheel, leave the car and park, look like a wishbone or something. I'm standing there from my porch like, what the fuck? Characters that are complete losers too. For starters, I already saw Mordecai on the thumbnail, and rightfully so. Mordecai is a fucking lame. There's a couple people that I feel like could come to mind, but for some reason, for my Hunter x Hunter niggas though, I don't know why Tampa just came to my mind. If you know Tampa, you know Real Ball. I don't know why he just came to my mind. And the Hunter exam, the nigga that was sabotaging everybody, yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay.
Characters that are complete losers. Part 2, let's get it. And from the jump, we gotta talk about one of the most popular characters of the year alongside the best movie up to this point. A while back, I went to go see Obsession to see what all the hype was about. And
Obsession was good. It was real. I liked it. I gave it like an 8 out of 10. Bro, if you don't know me, I grew up on horror movies. Like, I've seen it all. Horror movies got terrible for like the past 7 years. Now, I'm not saying this movie is perfect or anything, but the last 2 horror movies that I do remember liking was Smile. The second one was garbage. And Obsession. I enjoyed both of those.
Genuinely have nothing bad to say about the movie. Growing up, heck, even now,
And don't say I'm overreacting when you gotta watch shit like Night Swim and Founders Day and all that bullshit, bro. If you really watch horror movies, you know, like, a lot of that shit was garbage.
Genuinely have nothing bad to say about the movie. Growing up, heck, even now, I wasn't the biggest fan of the horror genre. Back then, I'll admit, I was just a put-out boy. But as I matured, it just stuck with me that most of the movies within this circle are mad predictable, or just not scary or interesting in the slightest. With Sinners last year and Obsession this year, the curse has been broke for me. This movie was a 10 out of 10. Kerry Barker snap. But
Sinners ain't no horror movie, bro. Ain't no way you had to build up to not be scared of shit like Sinners. That's more like a action thriller.
What I and most others can't get out of our minds with this movie is just how much of a loser the main character is. Bear. When we first meet Bear, he trying to get some rest tips from his homie Ian, since he has a crush on their childhood friend and coworker, Nikki. And to be fair, Nikki is a baddie. I don't know if I'll be sitting here asking this nigga of all.
Yo, I've been seeing that controversy of that one YouTuber, Alex Mayers, that made that review basically defending Bear, saying that he wasn't that bad, and they canceled him and made him take the video down and shit, ruined his whole channel of one video. The internet is crazy. Do I think that's justified? Not necessarily, but do I think like his opinions are a little bit questionable? At the end of the day, when it comes to the internet, your character is your currency. So you gotta really watch what you say, bro. Whether it's fiction or not, he did say some questionable things from the clips that I saw about Bear being like the victim in the movie or some shit. That's just a little weird.
People for tips, but I'd be a little intimidated. But hey, man, you know what they say? It's just a leap of faith. The entire start to this movie is just Bear being a slob and trying to work with how he should go about trying to bag Nikki. And this dynamic is something that all of us who have to work harder because
now, before we even continue, I know there was like a lot of discussion on this movie. I don't even really know what the general consensus or like the opinion of majority is on this movie, but I know everybody hates Bear, rightfully so. The nigga is terrible, but the only thing I could say I can't blame him for is wishing upon the willow that like he couldn't have guessed that was gonna happen. But everything after that, he lost his mind. I don't know what he's talking about. What's so bad about being with me? Like, he's tripping. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
I don't know what you mean, we. And this dynamic is something that all of us who have to work harder because I don't know what you mean, we. Yes, we, or ugly, have gone through. The friend zone. This is dang near canon event for all dudes. Now, as we advance into this analysis, don't get the idea that being in the friend zone is the issue. It's how you handle being in there that determines your character. After the friend group hang at the bar, Nikki is begging Ian to take her home and he telling her, hell no. But of course, seeing this as another opportunity to get on that timing, Bear volunteers to take her home. Ian like, yeah, get your girl home safe. And Nikki immediately shuts that BS down. In the car ride home, they're talking about how Nikki put her 2 weeks into her job. She explaining she's doing it because she'd rather be a writer and she's not happy with how her life is currently going at the moment. And then tells Bear that he's the only person she's able to be this transparent with. Nice little heartfelt moment. Kinda sad. But yeah, Nikki mentions how Sarah's into Bear, but he don't care. He wants Nikki. He has this weird reaction which prompts Nikki to ask him if he likes her instead, saying that if he does, it's best to confess now. But like an idiot, he denies it and they go separate ways. As she's walking to—
Yeah, that's another thing, bro. I find a little weird. I understand some people could be nervous. I can understand like whatever it is, you know, not everybody is the same, but I feel like at a certain age, it becomes very inappropriate to me when people are like You know, like when shit is starting to get a little bit like, can I confess? No, I shouldn't confess. Like, it's like, all right, bro, you're a grown ass, you're an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's where it starts to worry me. And hear me out. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a little bit scared or nervous to admit your feelings to somebody. It's a big deal if you really care about the situation. However, it is a little bit weird that you're able to be around somebody knowing that you have feelings with them and you don't want to jeopardize being around them with just, I'm talking proximity wise, not even like friendship wise, like relationship wise. Just being in their vicinity is so valuable to you that you don't want to confess something that you feel like will be removing you from that vicinity of that person. That's a little weird, bro. I don't think that you really should want to be near somebody that much to the point where it bothers you that much that you can't actually communicate like an adult to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never wanted to be around nobody that bad. Like, if I'm gonna say some shit and I'm gonna get rejected, as a kid, of course, you might be scared to say it. As a grown adult, why do you want to be around anybody that bad that is more worth it to hide how you feel and hide how you actually feel, just so you don't jeopardize just the ability to be in the proximity of that person? That's weird, bro. Because like I said, because now you become disingenuous. Your character is not exactly who you appear to be, which is very misleading. So even if you never confess, the fact that you want to be around this person and they just want to be friends with you, or maybe they potentially might be interested in it, but until you let that be known, or unless they're also interested and you have like that shit is just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's leave that shit. Let's leave that to the high schoolers. You know what I'm saying? Leave that shit to whoever. That's not for grown adults. Cause in grown adult world, I'm telling you right now, I'm talking to y'all young niggas too. In grown adult world, consent is everything. You understand me? Consent is everything. So you want to make sure you're being as transparent as possible when it comes to your intentions for everything. You feel me? For everything, gang. When it comes to relationships, friendships, even grown ass people scared to say no still. Nah, bro, cut that out. The older you get, bro, you need to be transparent, because at the end of the day, when you become an adult, your word is your bond. That's it.
To her door, she says goodnight, and his response was,
Night, Freaky Nicky.
No.
Oh my goodness, Valentine!
No.
Whoa!
Step back, one-legged.
Night,
What
Freaky
kind of
Nicky.
shot is that? Have you ever shot that shot? Do you work on that shot?
He really took Ian advice to the max. Brother, you've known her long enough and is fully aware that she does not like that nickname. Why the heck are you listening to what Ian is telling you to do? One thing I never do when I'm on game is take advice. I don't care who it's from. The beauty of hooping is being your own player, my dogs. Draw your own plays. Cross your own opponents. Shoot your own shots. I cannot emphasize this enough. Normalize getting it out the mud by yourself. He in the car stressing and reaches back for her gift, which was the one
Really,
wish
nigga?
Willow. Pulls it out and it plays this weird distorted tune. And without any hesitation, he wishes for Nikki to love him more than anything in the world and proceeds to snap at her. When he starts his car, Nikki is back outside standing on the porch. She starts bothering the heck out of Bear. Like, she's genuinely attached and fangirling over him in this moment, which is a complete character shift. So now Nikki's over at Bear's crib, and as they're about to go to sleep, she starts getting freaky with him.
Like, this is what I'm saying. This is weird. Like, as a grown adult, I understand you have a crush as a grown adult for whatever reason, but if I was Nikki's neighbor and I came out my house and I saw that interaction, I saw them say bye to each other, she walked into her house, and I'm looking, just because I'm in the neighborhood, and I see this nigga stay in the car, wait for her to go in her house, look at his front driving wheel, leave the car and park, pull out a cursed object out of his fucking pocket, look like a wishbone or something. I'm standing there from my porch like, what the fuck? He grabbed that bitch, look around. He says, I wish she could love me, and crack the bitch. Yo, bro, I'm going back in my house, grabbing the nearest firearm and sniping the fuck out that nigga. Because I don't know if you just cursed the whole block. If you like, that's weird, bro. That's some weird shit. You're not thinking about it because it's like a movie. And you might think like, oh, well, Bear is... Nah, bro, Bear nothing. That's some weird behavior for a grown-ass man, bro. If you just have a crush, whatever, you drive off, you think about it, you wait until the right time to just say it, even though you had your chance. You feel me? You don't sit in the driveway and crack wishbones wishing... Like, what the fuck? This nigga's a loser.
In the middle of this, she gets up, looks at Bear in the face, and starts to freak the heck out. This is her second time getting hit with this odd amnesia shtick in this night alone, where she has no clue what's going on. But they reconcile and just go to sleep. Bear searching whether or not the One Wish Willow has any merit of it actually working, but doesn't get a clear answer. In the morning, Nikki makes him breakfast. Nice little gesture. But in the kitchen, Bear's cat, who died at the start of the movie, has a memorial with its body laying on the ground. The new version of Nikki did this thinking it was a nice gesture. Start red flag already. Nobody in their right mind is doing this. Nikki's back at Bear's house apologizing for what happened and presses Bear about his crush on her. They both confess to wanting each other. So we see the start of their romance, and it is the most typical honeymoon phase ever. Constantly hanging out. Things seem to be going well for them. They are out on a dinner date when Ian called, and
That's another thing that make this nigga a weirdo, bro. You wish the wishbone. She showed back up. You didn't think nothing of it. She start kissing on you. The fear of God is in her face. She jump off the bed like, bro, what am I doing? And then snaps back into it and kills your cat. And then you just proceed to have a relationship with her. This nigga's a weirdo, bro.
he tells Bear that Nikki's been lying to him about her dad having cancer, and that being one of the reasons she's been acting this way. Ian explaining how badly Nikki changed, like she's not even the same person and just likes Bear now. And he right. Because right after this call, she's confessing to loving Bear more than life itself. Love bombing of doom and despair, man, what the hell? It could have been longer than a week. The funny part about this scene is that a lot of you niggas do this. Like, a lot of y'all doing with this right now.
Alright, hold on, bro. My lips are so fucking dry right now, bro.
I think it's good. Run! Bear asks about her dad, and Nikki starts tweaking out, bro. This scene gave me the ick. She was hollering and whining in front of the entire restaurant. Stop. Once again, another red flag. I've lost count at this point. And after all of these incidents, he takes her back home and proceeds to drop dick off.
Oh
so many more weird
God.
things happen with Nikki, like standing in the dark corner of the bedroom, taping the house's front door completely shut. She literally pissed herself over him leaving, by the way. Biggest indicator is the lunch scene, where inside of his box, Nikki put 2 Polaroids inside, with a note saying "you" on one of them, and then "not me" on the other. Clear cry for help. I don't know what else it could be. To make matters worse, the lunch she made him turned out to be a cat sandwich. You heard me correct, my guy. Not catfish. That sounds good right now.
Catfish, yams, collard green.
Straight up kitty cat. Not pug either. Kitty, like the animal. So at this point, he's fully aware that this Willow, in fact,
disgusting.
did work. Bear calls the number on the back of the Willow box to see if he could alter the wish. But notice how I said alter and not cancel. This dude is a complete scumbag. The man on the phone literally asked him if he wanted to cancel, and Bear insisted and emphasized that he still wanted Nikki to love him against her will. Alright.
What a fucking weirdo, bro. Yo, the only thing I could say positive about this is kudos to the actor and the actress for these main roles. I heard it was her first time acting. She fucking showed out. And him, I hope he did a good job too. I hope he's not getting death threats though for this movie. You know how them fucking weirdos get when it comes to popular movies. I hope he's not getting death threats, but knowing the world is, he probably is over a fucking movie. But shout out to them, bro. They really did well.
You want to cancel? No, I don't want to cancel. I still want my bid. I still want my bid. But she crazy.
So you want to alter the wish?
Yes.
Nah, we can't do that.
Then why you making sound we can do that?
I just want to touch your character. You a bad guy, nigga. You horrible. You deserve this.
Now we know your character. Terrence Crawford and shit.
Oh my gosh, nigga. Can you hear the words coming out of my mouth? Can you read lips, my nigga? No!
Asks Bear if he wants to talk to Nikki, and Bear's confused. Then puts a woman screaming on the phone, assumed to be the real Nikki herself, probably in this weird void suffering. Oh my god, this nigga! And instead of calling Ian, Sarah, hell, even the police or psych ward, anybody, he just goes back to living life with this lost version of Nikki. Next scene, they go to Ian's for game night, and things continue to be weird. She's still obsessive, and once the real Nikki is back and active, she freaks out, screaming, "It's not me!" breaks a bottle and starts smashing her skull in at the function. And all Bear does is sit there looking down. He trying to ignore it. He is not only dating and taking up her entire life, but he has had sex with her multiple times up to this point. This is literally great, and he's fully aware of it. At night, Sarah messages Bear asking to meet him about something, and before he leaves, Nikki steps out of it once again, this time asking Bear to end her life, saying that the other half is asleep. And this dude, dead for real, responds with,
You are you, Nikki.
completely ignoring the fact that Nikki is in fact not Nikki. And after she begs him once again, he responds,
Yo, what the fuck? What is this clip?
is in fact not Nikki. And after she
Who is that, Usher?
begs him once again,
Nah, this nigga
he
is
responds
crazy.
with,
What would be so bad? What's so bad about being with me?
and walks out to meet Sarah. So yeah, if you couldn't tell by now, Bear's one of the biggest losers I definitely have come across. When he's out meeting Sarah, it's clear that she still likes him after all this. But Nikki pulls up and completely smushes her face into a brick. All because Bear was out here hanging out with her at 2 a.m. Little detour here, but man, Sarah got the worst end of the stick out of the entire
Facts.
cast, bro.
Facts.
She was the only one outside of our victim who didn't do a single thing wrong. They dispose the body, and after that, Bear runs back to the store to buy another Willow to try to reverse the wish. But he can't snap it. So he goes to Ian to confess to everything. Obviously, Ian thinks.
This nigga is crazy.
So when he pulls out the Willow, he wishes for $1 billion. And the moolah starts rolling in. He had lost for words. I don't like Ian, but I can't hit on him right here.
Yeah, when this happened, I was like, bro, good. Listen, I get it, bro. Some shit sound crazy. But I feel like at this point in time in my actual real life, if my mans came to me all bloodied up and looking dirty and shit like that, like I'm at the point where, bro, I don't know what the fuck they doing in Area 51. I don't know what they doing in I don't know what they doing under the White House. I don't know what they doing anywhere, bro. It's already some weird shit going on. Some people believe in aliens. Some people don't. Some people believe in ghosts. Some people don't. So there's all these controversies and all these unanswered questions. We haven't discovered the ocean. The least you could do is hear your mans out. If the nigga is begging, like, for dear God, out of character, some shit you never seen out of him while Nikki was acting weird and, like, we all saw that. Like, he's some dumb nigga, too. Like, I wouldn't have just been like, yeah, I wish for $1 billion. I'd have been scared as shit. Like, but what are you talking about? But tell me everything first, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was dumb.
He's a bag chaser, I get it. Nikki's acting crazier and crazier by the minute. Ian pulls up to tell Bear that the money is real, but gets a glimpse of what Bear has been dealing with behind the scenes this entire movie. And when that dude walks in, Nikki headshots 223 his dome. No aimbot or anything. She just got it like that. Bear sneaks to the bathroom realizing what he has to do. The man on the phone was right. The only way to truly end this is for him to end himself. He grabs some pills and starts to commit. But as we've seen with this man this entire movie, he's not committed to anything. At least anything that's right to do. So he starts to try and make himself puke to not OD. But he hears the sound of another One Wish Willow playing the tune and snapping. When I first watched this, I had no idea what was going on. But now I see that the possessed Nikki herself used the Willow to make Bear love her as much as she did, causing this final interaction to happen the way it did. Fortunately though, Bear did not puke the pills in time, so he's on his way to hell, and right after he dies, Nikki is back to normal and has to deal with the consequences of the entire clan being dead in this dude's Bear house. I cannot
So
stand
sad.
Bear whatsoever, bro. This man's entire
This shit was such a, like, reverse negative Romeo and Juliet. This is like the worst the worst version of Romeo and Juliet. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if that's where they got inspiration from, but that's the first thing that came to my head when I saw it.
genuinely pisses me off. Like, all this stuff only happened because he was too afraid to admit his crush to Nikki at the start of the movie. And I'm not gonna get on here and say that Nikki liked him, like how some people think, because we don't truly know that. It was left ambiguous for a reason. But to sit up and beg your friend Ian for advice about how to treat and bag a girl is nuts. Especially when said advice is questionable or blatantly wrong. To make matters worse, I didn't mention it earlier because I didn't know where to fit it, but Ian and the real Nikki were cracking on and off for a year. And anytime a guy, let alone a homie, is getting in the middle of you running an ISO play on a woman, or is giving this level of crappy advice, then you should sense that the dude is backdoor as heck. Freaky Nikki, bro.
Is this nigga serious?
Come on, nigga, you's a grown ass man. There is no way you thought that was game.
I think we both understand that everybody in this fucking movie was lame as hell, except for Sarah, her name was, the one that died in the car.
Exhibit B, the Sarah dynamic. This entire time, Sarah was into Bear's funky ass. Nikki even told him herself early on, but he was so focused on forcing Nikki to be his girl that he caused Sarah to also be killed. I'm mad as hell about this, bro. Sarah genuinely did nothing wrong the entire movie. The worst thing she did was have a crush on a dude we haven't seen shower not once these entire 2 hours. Those first two exhibits are easy and clear takeaways.
I hate
This
that
final
beat.
one is gonna be a mixed bag to some. But in my opinion, if Bear actually shot his shot at Nikki in an ethical manner, it is not crazy to say that she probably would have given him a chance.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Throughout the start, they had a very solid dynamic And although it was friendship, if he played his cards right, he could have at least gotten a real date. As said earlier, she explained how Bear is the only one she can be transparent with. Take it from me, man. I'm always right, I think. Transparency isn't easy. Not only does it take trust, but it also takes a high level of security. So it's clear that in a sense, Bear makes Nikki feel safe. Safer than how Ian does, safer than how Sarah does. She also stated that she wants to move on with her life and she doesn't feel loved. Now, as we can clearly see with the rest of this movie, there's better ways for her to feel loved and appreciated. But I am sure that if Bear was a genuine and stood up individual, that he would have easily had at least Ian beat. To him, Nikki was just a booty call.
I wanna smash.
Instead though, Bear was a pussy and just played his game the same way Ian probably did. And just because you play the same game doesn't mean you'll get the same results. Honestly, looking at everyone I covered in the history of my channel, he probably only second to that guy Griffith, bro.
Yo, Griffith is the worst fictional I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, to all my non-anime watchers that watch this video, this nigga right here with this fucking condom superhero suit on, this nigga is the worst fictional character in history. I'm telling you right now. Trust me, bro. Trust me. If you think Bear is bad, he is 20 times as bad, bro. This is a sick nigga right here, bro. And the sad part is he would have got away with it in today, because now today they let you get away with anything if people find you attractive. This nigga and his little K-pop looking ass, this is the worst nigga. Yo, bro, he the worst nigga, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. The worst. Complete worst. If you want to know, go do your homework on. You don't even have to read the whole manga, bro. Go search up a YouTube video or something on what exactly that nigga did. You will get your answer. Sick ass nigga.
And that even is a debate within itself. All my homies hate Bear.
Damn, I thought the video was over. This nigga done spent basically more than half of the video talking about. He spent a little more than half of the video just talking about Bear. I thought this was just an obsession review, but nah, never mind. Let me see what he got in here. Hey, listen, man, you gotta understand. I'm going on vacation on Friday. I gotta batch record a bunch of these videos. He got Mordecai and Ryan in here. Yeah, I think we just gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everything else, this is the one case scenario where like I didn't account for that. Hopefully I'm not missing too much in the end, but just to save yourself, this is the first and probably last time I'll ever not finish a video on a reaction. But to be honest, like I said, I got a bunch to record. And on top of that, I've heard the conversation behind Mordecai and Brian and, you know, why they're losers like a million times. So the reaction itself would have been just like an echo chamber, because I know what he's going to say and I'm going to agree with what he's going to say. So we just going to leave it at that. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want me to watch next. And until the next video, thank you for watching.